Within the SOC 2 framework, there are what are known as the Trust Services Criteria, TSCs. You may also hear these referred to as Trust Service Principles, TSPs. The criteria are basically the requirements that your business needs to meet in order to undergo a SOC 2 audit, what your auditors are actually going to be comparing against. Key point here is that these should be tailored to your business, to your organization, to your particular services. You should not try to implement all of the criteria. SOC 2 is something of a choose your own adventure. You should pick the criteria most applicable to the type of business that you are actually conducting. Other key thing here, kind of scary sounding term, but carving out anything that you acquire from your service providers. What does that mean? Basically, if you're using AWS to host your production environment, Amazon is the one that's on the hook to provide physical security for their data centers. Those requirements are carved out of your responsibility. And when your auditors review your control program, they are going to refer to Amazon's SOC 2 to see how those particular controls are being satisfied. So what are the TSCs? Got a couple of them. Frequently referred to using their abbreviation. So you see those here in parentheses. There is the security criteria, basically the ability of your organization to protect the information that you store and process, abbreviated CC because these are common criteria. Availability, abbreviated as A. This is the accessibility of information and systems for your customers. This is basically where you talk about things like uptime. How much uptime do you provide your customers? 3 nines, 5 nines, etc. Processing integrity, or PI, primarily is important for organizations providing some sort of financial outsourced service. These criteria speak to the completeness as well as the accuracy of information that is processed by your systems. If an organization trusts you to provide processing for their financial data, they need to make sure that that financial data maintains its integrity, especially if they are a public company and have to have their own financial statements audited. Confidentiality, abbreviated with just one C, is the ability of your organization to protect the confidential information that has been entrusted to it. And lastly, and very much growing in importance, privacy, abbreviated P. This is the ability of your systems and your organizational controls to uphold common tenets of privacy regulations. And of course, I'm sure all of us have heard some of the emerging standards, things like GDPR, CCPA. Common tenets of these privacy frameworks include consent. People need to give you consent to use their data. You should limit the processing of that data to just the purpose for which you've gathered consent. Data subjects should have access to their data, and so on, all the way through to the disposal of data when your organization no longer needs it.